Hello. Welcome to week 7 of The Only Way Through, which started as a promise I made to myself to show up here week to week and work through my self-doubt and my creative blocks and hold myself accountable. So that is what I am doing. Woo! How is everyone? What is up? This week wasn't a very creative week for me because I had to get started on my taxes, and once I have taxes on the brain, it is hard for me to focus or be creative, basically focus on anything else. It's just like spins around in my mind. It'll wake me up at like 2 a.m. and I'll start trying to do my taxes while in bed, but like not actually trying to do them, just doing them in my head over and over again. It's not great for sleep, A, and B, actually getting them done because I'm not doing them when I'm doing that. So yeah, it's kind of a lot. It's taxing, if you will. Oh, that was good. Yes, so it's been a tax week, you know? It's been a little more math, a little more counting. It's creative in a way, but yeah, that's where I am at. And hopefully they will get done and it'll feel good, and you know, it'll be a year till tax season rolls around again. It's a crazy marker of time because it's always like, really? It's here again? It always seems to come around. But yeah, I'm getting better each year at just doing them. This week, I want to talk about first a book that has meant a lot to me and my creativity, and a new book that I've just gotten. So the first book is The Artist's Way, which you may have heard of recently because the artist Doechii, in I think 2020, worked through this book, which is a 12-week creative, to get through creative blocks. A creative workbook. She had a YouTube channel where she would show up every week and talk about it. And I was really excited when I was getting into her music to find out that she did that because, yeah, it's like this amazing connection. And I was working through it around the same time, and it's cool. Now she's like a Grammy winner artist, and I really admire her writing and everything. So yeah, so you might have heard of it. Basically, I might have said this already, it's by Julia Cameron, and it's a 12-week course where she gets you to do certain exercises. You read a chapter, you do reflection questions, you do daily practices, you do weekly practices, and start to open yourself back up to your creativity. It was given to me by my sister, I think in 2015, and I was going through it at the time. I was in a tumultuous relationship, pretty creatively stifled and distracted by a lot of things, and there was a lot going on. It was a cloudy time for me. But I remember getting it and knowing that it was going to be important to me. And that year I did start it, but I didn't complete it. And I think the year later I started it again, didn't complete it. And maybe one other time, got a bit further, but didn't complete it until 2020, when I had a lot of time on my hands and I worked through all 12 weeks. And yeah, I think it's, you know, a lesson in continuing to try something until it clicks, but also that, you know, something finds you when you're ready for it. And even the first time when I attempted to work my way through it and didn't complete it, I still learned a lot from it, and there were practices that I continued to use even throughout that really difficult time in my life. It also introduced the concept to me that creativity and spirituality are linked. Oh wow, the fridge just went quiet, so that's why. The audio is probably way better now. So yes, introduce the concept of the connection between our connection to a larger power or source, or however you want to refer to it. In this, she talks about God, but she uses it in a very sort of, she says, like, you know, no matter what you believe, you just, this idea, she uses God as good, orderly direction. And this idea that there's this creative force that all artists, all people can connect to. And it's actually about opening yourself up to let that creative force in and to be able to receive inspiration and all those things. And it's a very supportive understanding of creativity. I found it comforting because it was sort of more about unlearning and unblocking and not forceful and gripping on something and you know, changing yourself or anything. It was actually like, you are enough and you just need to open to whatever creativity is all around you, if that makes sense. I hope that it does. But yeah, I would highly recommend this book. It's intense. It's definitely intense in some ways, or at least I found it to be. It requires a commitment, but pays off in the end. So yeah, that's The Artist's Way. This week, I went to my local bookstore and got this book, which is called A Swim in a Pond in the Rain by Saunders. And he is a professor, I believe, creative writing. And this book is based off of lessons he's done about short stories. And, you know, what keeps a reader wanting to read a short story? Why? What's the psychology behind it? And basically in this book, he goes through seven short stories by different Russian authors and discusses what makes them special and interesting. And anyways, I have wanted this book for months because I heard on the podcast Talk Easy, Jerrod Carmichael. I've never actually had to say his name out loud, but he had that reality TV show where it's a cool concept. Anyways, good, also amazing podcast to listen to. He's just super inspiring and everything. But he recommended this book, and the way he talked about it made me I was like, I know that I will like that. So I need to get it because, yeah, I'm feeling a bit blocked with my writing and I love to write. So I will keep you updated on how this goes. I'm about a chapter in and so far I'm loving it. It's also reminded me the other day that whenever I have a good book, I feel better about everything. I don't scroll as much. I'm so excited to be engaged in the book. It draws me in. I learned so much about this life and world through whatever world the book creates. I feel so much more inspired. They make me cry and laugh and I just love a good book. So I am setting the intention to make sure that I always am reading because it really fills me up. Yeah, so those are my recommendations. I've been reading some comments where people are also feeling blocked or feeling like they're scrolling a lot. And I would just say, you know, those 2 books have helped me, or the 1 book has helped me a lot, and the 2nd book is helping me this week. And so I recommend them. And also just having a book to read to stimulate your brain just feels so much more enriching than, you know, all the constant dopamine rushes of watching reels and the ups and downs of it all and everything, you know, like it slows you down, and that helps a lot with my anxiety. So yeah, that is week 7. I will see you in week 8. Okay.